Here comes things. No, this was the one just.
All right. Welcome.
Nope, that's Steve.
No, it's Steve.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Are you ready to go? Do you have the agenda and the motions and everything I sent you?
No, I can get them.
Okay. Thank you.
He had all that time waiting on me and still not.
Hey, I didn't think I'd have to do this.
Well, Andre explained to me how they did it in the past during COVID is that you will like read the motions, they've signed them here. And when you read the motions, they will raise their hands to say, hey, I
agree.
agreeing. And then I get you to come in and sign it after.
Okay,
You're still chairing the meeting, I guess, from there though.
okay.
How'd your course go?
So.
Yeah.
Calling a meeting to order?
Mhm.
No, that's last meeting. Yeah, I don't have them. Come on. Yeah, I don't have them. I have a 47-page art document.
I sent you another one a moment, like around 4 probably with all the other attachments.
Halloween parade report.
Yep.
Oh, that one?
And then there's the OAC report, the Halloween report. and
November 4th motions. Okay. All right. Okay, so calling the meeting to order, moved by
Yeah.
and seconded by,
Ollie.
that the meeting be open at 5:04 p.m. All in favor? Carried. And the adoption of the agenda, moved by
Ollie.
and seconded by,
Sheena.
that the draft agenda dated November 4th, 2024 be adopted as prepared. All in favor? Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof? Hearing none. Adoption of the previous minutes, moved by
Sheena.
and seconded by,
Ollie.
that the minutes of the Recreation and Fitness Committee of September 9th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. Any presentations or delegations? None for this session. Staff reports. So
Yes.
6A is Halloween and Bonfield.
Yes, so just generally speaking, I think it was a success overall.
Yeah.
Positive feedback all around. Everyone, for as far as I can tell, had a positive impact. I did break down the financials of it here. All the donations, expenses. Just with the timing of one of the donations and the HST rebate, we do have a little bit of money left. We had discussed perhaps some decorations because I think this is a hit of an event that we can invest in it. There was mention of large skeletons at one point.
Yeah. I think those are our biggest bang for our buck, especially if we put them kind of right on the corner, right kind of by the sign, right by the lion sign and by the caboose.
So there
we
was
could get Public Works to make a sign that those skeletons are holding about the event, and like I think those are our biggest bang for the buck.
Yeah.
do we want to do that, or do we want to get like a professionally made banner kind of thing, or where do we want those funds to?
I like the skeleton. We can dress them up for Christmas too.
And you know
Put some
what,
money or
we
something?
could maybe possibly do the banner also,
Yeah.
get,
The only concern
I can
with
talk to one
banners,
person.
the only concern I have about banners is that there's changes all the time. When you make banners, you're on a time crunch. So whenever you get something, for instance, if you get a donation later on or a sponsor, you're kind of like stuck.
Do we get one though that just says Halloween parade,
But we can't put a
Bonfield
date.
Halloween parade?
Yeah, but we can't really.
There
put
has to be a way. Cause I think I've seen it before where they have like
Mhm.
mining week and then they have like where
They
you
probably
put
give
in
you
like a
stuff, yeah,
little,
Yeah,
and it's like, it's protected for the weather.
right.
And we would just print off a thing,
Yeah.
cause we have the plot, like the bigger printer
Mhm.
that we could put the date in.
Right.
I don't know, but it's up to you guys, which
That would be a good idea.
direction.
I could check into it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
check into it. As long as it's not like specific, then you can reuse it, right?
Yeah, like
So,
not put an annual, like you can put
Annual.
annual on field, but
Yeah.
not,
yeah,
yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then-
we wanna look into
banner.
the banner.
Yeah.
And skeletons,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
which is there a preference? Like if we
I would
can
look
only
into
do
both.
one.
I would look into both because it is 50% off on a lot of things now,
Right.
and a lot of places are closing down, so skeletons are not $300 right now, they're half off. So, Steve, have you checked into it?
Have you checked Home Depot?
How much they are? No.
No? Okay.
They were like 300, but I'm sure they're like super cheap now. Especially if we went to some of the places that sell them to be like, hey, this is what we're doing with them. I bet you they might even discount them further, right?
Well, Home Depot, usually they get those incentives too, right?
Okay,
Because if you say that it's from Home Depot, like they get,
Okay.
they sometimes knock off some money.
okay,
Yeah.
so if you had to choose one, Steve, which one would you choose? If we can only do one, just.
I think the skeletons, because I think we can make a sign with plywood and white and red paint, right? Like,
Okay, so I'll look into both of them because we might as well price both of them out.
I'm heading to town tomorrow, I can look at, I'm
They're
at least
they're
going
not in
to,
the store anymore, I checked. They're not in the store.
oh,
We
you
have to
order
approach
online?
the,
Yeah.
or approach the management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to Home Depot. I
You'll
can at
check
least
that out
ask them.
tomorrow at Home Depot?
Yeah, I don't know if Spirit Halloween is. it
No,
still
they
open?
closed yesterday.
Oh, okay, I was thinking.
Yeah, cause they were open on the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, but it looks like they're about $200. 50% off.
Okay,
Which, I mean, honestly, if a banner costs $400 to have,
I'd rather the skeleton.
I'd rather the skeleton.
okay, so it's decided.
I can see if Home Depot's got one in the back.
Especially if they have their light up eyes and stuff.
That's what I was just looking
Yeah.
at. Yeah.
Keep doing.
Okay, we're gonna look into it.
okay, perfect.
Okay, so we'll price both of those out and then feedback on the Halloween parade. What did we like? What didn't we like? What do we think we can change? Suggestions, feedback. One piece of feedback I got was to maybe start 15 minutes later.
For
So
the
that
darkness.
everybody's in the dark,
The darkness.
stuff like that.
And that I would say for sure, that's a good idea. I do agree with that because it is kind of still broad daylight whenever we're hitting the beginning.
Mhm.
So to keep that thing kind of going, and it's only 45 minutes, right? So even just spur that to 8 o'clock, 7 to 8 kind of thing. I don't think that's only bad. Or we finished by 7:15. I can't remember.
It
what
would be
time.
at 7:30-ish.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember. But yeah, so no, I think that's a good idea. My one lesson learned to bring back is that our volunteers, we had quite a few great volunteers that just showed up,
Mhm.
is to maybe have little tree bags for them made
Yeah,
for them to
We
have a
went-
little something,
we went
right?
out.
Exactly. And the other option was to have, instead having the blue bins, but having the bags pre-made first
Yeah.
instead of doing it at the site.
Mhm.
So, getting the community to give their bags, everybody has so many bags anyways,
many.
so many bags. So that's an easy, grab and take kind of thing and just make, 100 bags or 50 bags, whatever kind of thing. So that way it's just put the bags in the bin, grab the bags, and then it's just switch out. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no stopping
exactly.
that way. When people bring their own.
Yeah.
Bins and stuff like that, we're just gonna have to deal with that
That's
kind
okay,
of thing.
and that's
It
okay.
won't be everyone. but yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
the other option is those pumpkin pails, like the orange pails, jack-o'-lantern
Yeah.
pails. If we bought, I don't know, how many kids do you think were there? 200 of them?
You're
And
funny,
half filled them.
not close, you're funny.
no, what
Not,
they were
not
talking
even
about the bag,
200.
what they were talking about with the bags is, so we would give the big bins of the
Yeah.
candy to the, and then the walkers would refill their bags.
Yeah,
So
I get
we
it,
have to
but
go
we
to the-
were
Yeah.
out by the time it kind of got 3/4 of the way through, we were pretty low. Whereas the
I see,
first
I-
half
I
of the
was
kids were
following.
getting handfuls and the second half of the kids were getting kind of one each because we're like trying to figure it out, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So how many kids do you think were there?
I'm gonna say close to 600, truthfully.
really.
600.
Yes, truthfully.
Okay.
That's the truth.
So
Yeah.
if we got however many of those jack-o'-lantern pails, and we maybe a quarter fill them all to make it like somewhat even, and put them all on the first float, like a council float or whatever, then the first float hands out those pails, and then everybody else behind would just do like the one piece of candy, but only in those pails. Would try to even it up as much as we can, so that like even at the end of the line, those kids are still getting their same pail that the first kids got, because a lot of the kids were double dipping, right? They know it, they know the route now, so they were going early, then they're running down the street, they're seeing the floats again.
Yeah.
But if they already have their pail, we don't hand it out,
Okay,
and we don't put candy into anything other than a pail.
Okay.
So it's the same like bucket for everybody. So like if you see a kid with a with like a sack or whatever, we know that they took their pail and dumped it into their sack and ditched the pail. So
Yeah.
we only hand out candy into the pail.
Yeah.
If we don't get the right number of pails though, then there's gonna be
Got-
kids who don't.
Yeah, we got to make sure that we're well, maybe. So say
honestly, waste.
we plan for 500 of them, and you get to the end, you'll still hopefully have candy left for that last little few. But I think this might be a way that we can speed it up, first of all, because we can pre-fill them, and I think make it a little bit more even, because I think there's probably, out of those 600 kids, I think it's closer to 3 or 4 maybe, and people are going twice, right? So that was the only thing that I could kind of like somewhat come up with that might avoid the double dipping and make it a little bit quicker and easier, because we can set it up prior.
So when we had started out, we had told the walkers and the floats 1 or 2 candies. But
Yeah.
there's always the overzealous ones who like to give handfuls.
Yeah.
And so if everybody gives a handful for the first 50 or 100, then they slow down and then they're giving handfuls at the end. So I think no matter what parade it's gonna be, that you're either gonna run out, you're gonna have too much, you're gonna have.
Yeah, I don't think there's any perfect scenario. I just
So
like, I
we-
think at the start, people were like, holy crap, we were like almost at the corner and we have all these full recycling bins, so let's just start getting rid of this. And then like by the time we got past the store and turned the corner, we're like, hey, we're almost empty, because this is where all the people are, right? Whereas if it was kind of like your bucket per kid, then we know this kid gets a bucket, this kid gets a bucket, this kid gets a bucket. The floats after, we're only going to put 1 extra candy in each bucket, because now they kind of have their bucket with their candy, and now we're just kind of passing floats at this point. So I think the only way that system goes wrong is at the very end, if like what you're saying, we had way more kids in buckets. But I think we can avoid that with just having enough and having extra at the end, where if we ran out of buckets and there's more kids, then you start doing your handfuls. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you?
Okay, so I'll just, first on that one, I'll just add, so what if instead of the pumpkins, cause that could get costly. If we pre-filled small brown paper bags so that, and then you just fill them with everything the same. And that's what they hand out. And you have
Yeah.
some made, because the little brown paper bags would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, so the only thing
And then you're
That
not having to
doesn't
buy
avoid-
pumpkins every year.
that
Yeah.
doesn't avoid the kids doing it twice. The
I don't-
pumpkins do, because kid gets a pumpkin and then he runs to the end of the line, and like he doesn't have it, we already know that like he's got it, right? Like we already know. We're only handing it out to like floats 2 through however many, we're only
Like,
handing it out to the
well, that's, I was thinking
To
they
the
could
pumpkin.
dump it and run, like the kids are smart enough, they're gonna dump it and run. Or the walkers are going so fast, they're not gonna notice that the pumpkin's almost full, they're just gonna stick a So, I mean, I think the ones that race to the end are,
older.
yeah, I don't think you're gonna catch them specifically.
So the
Right.
other suggestion I had, we could still do like maybe even the brown paper bag and put less in it, but so for the outlining houses, kind of like mine, I went to one because I had to bring my grandkids this past year and I thought it was fabulous. It's called Trunk or Treat
Mhm.
or Trick or Trunk.
Yeah.
So people actually decorate their trunks and they're all parked and the kids trick or treat at each vehicle. And maybe we could incorporate that at the end of the parade. I don't know where the parade actually ends, but even if it ended here or at the community center.
The fire halls.
Yeah, so there would be room for people to do that. I don't know, and then maybe there could be like some spooky music playing and different things, but the kids absolutely loved it.
Mhm.
The people love it, and it was really well. Yeah,
On the after party.
Yeah,
and I don't know, like, and if it was at the fire hall, if they did their haunted house, it would all be incorporated. They could.
but that's kind of
They do
assuming that,
theirs on
Halloween.
Halloween
Halloween,
night,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
and I don't know, but I think having them separate is kind of nice. It gives,
Yeah,
I, to
I
be
like-
honest, I would find it a struggle as a parent of a young kid to do the parade and then do the trick or treating. Like,
Mhm.
there's no way. And even thinking about the trunk or treat, like, you've got enough candy at the parade.
but there would be
You know.
less at the parade because
Yeah.
people wouldn't have to donate so much candy. They would do it out of the
Yeah.
trunk.
I think that's adding more to the event.
yeah,
Mhm.
and more of like a mystery of how much candy we actually have.
Yes. Cause we were
But it is
questioning
a-
it to the end.
I
So-
like the event.
It
I
was-
don't know if it works with
The parade.
the parade.
I just thought it would eliminate having to get so many candy donations.
We were able to though. I'm
Yeah.
not shocked.
I feel like it was a good amount.
And I was keeping an eye on the bags.
Yeah, me too.
And the kids towards the end still had enough candy,
Enough, yeah.
but enough.
Like I say,
and this
nobody
was
complained.
like
I was
two
just trying to
birthdays.
figure out how to make it easiest on us. The other thing that I thought is maybe we just make sure that walkers, floats, whatever, is just one candy per kid. And then once we're done and pull into the fire hall, we know what we have left. Kids could come and kind of divvy it up at that point. Maybe they get their baggies, their pre-filled baggies at that point.
That's a lot of congestion at the fire hall though.
And asking,
As
like, I
the
don't know,
parade.
like, it's moving your kids from one spot down
Mhm.
there, that seems like.
Not everybody would go.
I would think it would be a hazard because it's dark by then too, right? Like the
Mhm.
parade's moved on. You're gonna have a lot of people that are bringing little ones right where it's gonna be congestion.
Yeah, like I say, if that's our smallest issue that we're trying to solve is to make candy more even for everybody, then whatever it is, what it is, right? I'm just trying to
Yeah,
problem solve a little bit, and it's such a small problem that.
I mean, I think telling the walkers the one or two candies. And then if they notice, okay, because church is the biggest
Oh my God.
street.
yeah, and like
right?
now we know that, and I think part of
So-
this is just a learning curve
Yeah.
situation where. When I got to Church Street, I did not
Expect.
expect that, and I was,
Right.
well, what's great.
Yeah.
But now we know.
Yeah.
Now we're building on it. We can explain to the walkers next year, hey. This is why, this, not just saying, hey, only give out one or two. This is why you
Yeah.
need to give out
Yeah.
one or
Yeah.
Because at the start, we were kind of panicking, like, what the hell are we gonna do with all this candy when we're done? Like,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do with recycling bins full of expiring candy? Right,
Yeah.
so.
I'll eat it.
So-
Okay. Any other lessons learned? Any feedback anyone's heard from anyone?
I've heard nothing but positive.
Hmm.
I will tell you, Renee has come forward to say that she was very happy with the turnout.
Good.
She was very happy to see how well we did it, and she has to say pat on our backs for getting it to where it was. So just letting you all know, and I've also told her she's more than welcome to come and join us as a volunteer for next year if she's ever comfortable enough to do that. that she's always welcome. So kudos to everybody, you know, having that short time frame to do it. And I honestly think that we killed it, to be very honest. And the number of positive feedback that was on Facebook within the 24 hours of not a single negative is
Yeah.
beyond our expectations. So I think that fulfilling and everything that we did, and I really think even the little problems are not even problems, to be honest. I think what we did is exactly how it should be, and just, you know, increasing the best that we can. And yeah, and I think the community will, I think we do have to come forward and just be more transparent with the community to ask for donations, just because I've come across to know the donations were a little minimal from our community itself. Like, we got a lot from businesses, that I think it would be really important to start early and just sharing that, you know, it would be good to have our community support.
Yeah, especially
Um,
local
and-
businesses.
Exactly. So I think that's just something that we have to kind of spread a little bit. And I
Yeah.
did say that quite a bit to a few people. But other than that, that's pretty much all the positivity I got on all that. So on that note.
With the haunted house one, that one was added on later in the process, so we didn't get many entrants for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But again, positive receptions,
Mhm,
like the
yeah.
interactions on that post, there's 300 something on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
next year, like Steve had suggested earlier, we'll just start that one early
Mhm.
and use it as an excuse to promote the
Yeah.
parade.
So I think a marketing plan for that would be somewhere around like the 1st of October, we announce it, and that the deadline is maybe the 2nd week of October for the houses.
I
And
would
then
have September.
every post that we put about the house, we're also plugging the parade. And
Yeah.
then like the 3rd week, you could do a jack-o'-lantern contest, the same deal. People submit their photos, and then we promote the parade. And then at the parade is the float, and we do the same thing. Just do everything Facebook, everything vote by likes, because it sends people to our page, and that's part of building it, right? That's why we want to build it. But if we did the 3 different contests, you know, people are decorating their house kind of early October now, so that means that deadline. People aren't carving pumpkins early in case they go rotten, so they're carving it kind of the 2nd, 3rd week. So we do that one next. Then we do the floats the day of the parade. Pushes people, you know, 3 contests, pushes people to our page 3 times, getting the likes. I also think we should change it so that people can nominate too. I feel like the house with all the crazy decorations maybe
Yeah.
just felt bad
It might not be
saying.
on Facebook.
No, they
Yeah.
are. They are.
Oh,
They
okay.
said they just didn't feel that they had to. So
I think they probably just felt bad saying like, I don't want to put our name in, like we know we're gonna win this, but I also think there was a lot of people that were like, man, they've done such an awesome job,
Yeah.
they should win this.
We want to introduce a nomination.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think nomination would be good.
Okay.
Truthfully.
The only thing is, if you nominate, do they have to accept?
And like to
Right? Like
nominate,
to give some, like to post somebody
but
else's house.
we can't post someone's
Well, that's
house.
the
Yeah.
thing, we can't
But
post
you know, you
somebody's
can
house.
ask them though. We can come forward to them and ask them. Because I'm gonna be honest, when you decorate your house, you're expecting the public to drive by and smile looking at your house, right?
And
So it's not like
pictures
they're
of
not
your
showing it to have people stop and look. So I think, to me, I would just say, you're not gonna just say, hey, we're putting this as, you've been nominated, would you be okay if we post your picture? Yay or nay? There's your
Okay, so
consent.
yeah, that's the thing. My only concern is the consent.
Consent, honest, easy peasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody other than Cassandra will have to go knocking on doors.
I can go knock on doors.
I don't think she can go knocking on doors.
Now, people are starting to know who I am in the town.
Get a reputation.
All right, any other words on Halloween?
No, I think we need to talk about it starting at the end of July. And
Yeah.
get started.
Yeah, as soon as Canada Day's over, I think we need to
That
gear up.
was the
Yeah.
idea, and
Yeah.
then it,
Yes, okay.
there was just some complaining about the float too, of how it was judged. But I know like we originally tried to get Renee and her family involved, and then we pivoted to maybe the principal and some teachers, and so, you know, first year just stumbling through it. Maybe that's we also post
Yeah, who do we want
one
to have?
photo of every float on Facebook, and then
Yeah, I would do
people
the
have a few days to vote.
I would do community. Honestly,
it's a
I feel like
community
community
event.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I'll be very honest, the number of compliments that were on Facebook from people talking about people's floats,
Yeah,
I think was very engaging and I think it motivates people for next year.
yeah,
So we want to move to a Facebook judgment?
I feel like that having a Halloween theme vote throughout the community for, you know, like Steve said, for the Jacko, the float, as well as the house, I think really gets the community together for something that is one of our biggest events.
for the float though, it would have, like, we'd have to make sure that we have similar pictures of this floats, cause I noticed like a lot of the
Yes.
floats that were on being posted were
Yes.
the very bright ones and stuff, and some of the
Yes.
other ones weren't getting, so we couldn't leave it up to the public to have the pictures posted. We
It has to
would
be-
have
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
did,
sure.
the one gentleman that posted a bunch, or husband and wife that had posted a bunch of the pictures. I
Mhm.
figured out where he was standing
Okay,
and it's the prime spot because you come down at the bottom of church and then there's the house on the corner that's really well decorated
yeah,
and streetlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we position a dedicated person there to
Yeah.
take the pictures,
yeah,
it's level playing field for
Yeah.
everyone.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that would be a thing, is to have a volunteer who would do the photography.
Which I'm sure we can find
Yeah.
somebody, because there's a lot of people that attend our parade that are actually photographers.
Jamie.
There's Amanda Savage, there's like a whole bunch of them.
Some of the pictures I posted were from Jamie.
Yeah,
'Cause I looked up, I was walking down the street and I saw her
Oh,
camera and I
yes.
said, your camera tells
Taylor.
me you take really good pictures. And she's
Jamie
like, I
Taylor.
do, yes, Jamie Taylor. I'll see if she's interested
Yeah.
in doing
Mhm.
that, cause she let us share her photos anyways.
Yeah,
Jamie Taylor, okay. Okay, cool.
Oh, and the person with the black Jeep offered to volunteer for future help for Halloween, because he loves Halloween and he was one of our floats and he, I know.
Can we need his
I
contact
can't remember his
information?
name. Black Jeep.
I know when you're talking about.
No, the
Skeletons on
Jeep.
it.
We need to figure out his contact information, but yeah, I will take everyone.
Yes, so he would love to be a part of volunteering. So
Amazing.
he
the
did.
teens had a blast.
The
My
teens
team
all
back
had
They
fun.
were so great.
Had a
Yeah,
blast.
yeah.
They had so much fun,
Absolutely.
Okay,
All right,
especially the banana. Apparently he was.
I should dress up.
Oh, no.
I should dress up as a movie next year. Your dog.
Oh, me the dog.
Sorry.
see,
We're on to the next one.
Oh, for that, eh?
Do we have to accept the report? Or anything?
no,
No.
it's just
No.
for everyone.
Okay, so we're just moving to 7 for items for community discussion, or committee discussion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm like, sure, move on. What's next?
Me, sir. So yes, Christmas in Bonfield. So November 30th, so. It was brought to my attention that we have not communicated to the town yet that the parade is not
A go.
a go.
Okay,
Okay.
There was a newsletter that was supposed to go out. It kind of didn't end up happening, so
Mhm.
now we really have to
Buckle down.
buckle down and explain to people, one, that the parade is not happening.
Mhm.
mhm,
And how is Santa getting here? What's the
The motive.
plan
mhm.
for that?
Yeah.
So did we look into any of the information for the hayride
Yeah,
with Santa?
Yes.
Yes,
And?
and it's a no-go.
Oh, no?
I contacted
Right.
multiple people.
Okay,
My contact was a no-go.
Yeah, Dan had contacted people. I know of at least 5 or 6 people that we've reached out to that we
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah,
they won't.
Yeah.
It's everyone's concerned with the liability
Mhm.
of it,
yeah,
which I get.
Yeah.
But we made every effort to try and
I
make
know,
this
I did
happen.
too, yeah.
So unfortunately that
It is
we have to pivot again.
Yay.
So when it comes to the pictures with Santa. What do we think for how how's Santa getting there? Is he just going to be there?
I still think Santa should come on a tractor.
Or in the back of Steve's truck. It's come with the alligators.
Somebody's got it.
I have my truck too. I mean, worst case scenario is pitch somebody.
Decorations from last year.
Santa?
We have a Santa.
We have a Santa,
Okay.
okay,
We have a Santa.
okay.
We do have some decorations from last year from the Public Works float
Mhm.
that we could decorate someone's truck or something. And if it's just Santa, we can mitigate the liability issue there because he's a grown person.
Yeah.
Yes.
To avoid it, you just have him there before you open the door, no? Have
Or
him there, dressed,
That's what we need to,
sitting up on the stage, waiting, you open the door and he's there.
Well, the fire truck could still bring them.
Oh, the fire truck ring would be cool.
Right?
If you can
No,
get fire
it's
truck
not
involved,
Public Works float.
Okay.
Sorry,
if you can get them involved and get them committed.
and the time frame is getting real tight on that.
Okay, so let's figure out how to get Santa to the town.
Do we, so Steve suggests we just have Santas there and when people come in, they just see Santa.
Okay.
I think Santa hops in his own car, drives himself to the hall. Comes in, gets changed, and he's ready to go.
We could have the stage decorated, I guess, with a chair. Like a fancier chair.
We have the lion.
The Lions had a fancy chair, but I don't know if.
But they're
we'll-
doing breakfast with Santa, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't wanna duplicate the.
Right.
So
Somebody's gotta have a fancy chair.
No, this.
We just need like kind of like an antique looking one even and decorate it.
What would be cool is once, oh no, we wouldn't be able to get that.
I still think there is a chair on that stage. I think there always has been, because like we've done this before, and I'm pretty sure it's got like red velvet or like purpley red velvet.
Has Santa been at the cookout?
no, not
Oh,
traditionally, he doesn't come inside.
So why can we not do it outside? Like borrow somebody's antique sleigh and you can do pictures outside and then like there's a set period of time that people come and then Santa has to go away.
Okay.
Thing, like do the pictures.
Do we
and stuff
have a
inside.
sleigh today? Cause like we're on it, like this letter needs to go out like tomorrow. So the information that's included in this letter needs to be what's happening.
Right.
I don't have a sleigh. I don't know anybody who has a sleigh.
There's one on the bike, but I don't know who they are. It's in the front yard. Black.
And then again, you're dealing with maybe it rains, maybe it snows, maybe
I would do
Cool.
those.
Yeah, and are we gonna have snow? Like outside would be great
Don't
with
jinx
the
it, guys.
snow.
I think the thing that I hesitate about with having Santa is that taking away with breakfast with Santa? That is happening. What, the following week, December 8th?
Yeah, I think it's
It's
just.
a different
Yeah.
weekend. I wouldn't worry about
It's a
it.
different weekend, but my kid is gonna be going to multiple events and they're gonna do, like, I don't wanna take away with breakfast with Santa.
Lions Club.
Yeah, and so if we have Santa inside and everybody gets to come and do the Santa inside. Are we in any way going to take away from breakfast with Santa? If we've never done it before, do we have to do it again? Does it have to be a Santa event or can it just be like a Christmas party on Fawnfield? Like a quick, you
I'll be
know,
honest, I agree with you on that. I do, because Lions Club's been pushing that for many years, well, for the
Yeah.
years that I've been here. They've been doing that, and I would hate to take that away from something that the Lions Club has had a lot of dedication to
mhm,
for the community, and I feel like even members of the community are so much involved when it comes to that event. Like, I don't know, like, that's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but I just don't wanna take that conflict away. So,
Okay.
So then I think we need to have a mailbox and letters for Santa will be accepted.
that would be cool.
that's a good idea.
And even having elves, like have a writing table and then have some,
Who's gonna dress up as elves?
well,
We
I
do
look
have,
like
we
one.
do have costumes, I
So,
believe.
yeah.
I'm not doing it.
It's terrible.
Okay,
My family have been elves for a long time.
That's just, that's just
what
my
are
two
your
cents.
thoughts, Steve?
What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I'm good either way. Cassandra and I talked about this on the phone the other day, and we both brought up the same concerns as well. But we were trying to make the event a little bit more than come and eat chili.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So could we not do like a sugar cookie? Like kids come and decorate sugar cookies?
Well, that's what I had
They've done
suggested.
that in the
Okay,
past,
so there's a,
haven't
Yeah, we usually have the cookies for the kids to
Yeah.
decorate.
Yeah.
I already reached out to the dinner bell to see if maybe she'll just like make us a whole bunch of cookies.
they?
Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, one of us could even like, we can even separate the, hey, you make,
so we could
Three
do
batches,
like,
I'll make three
we could
batches.
do the cookie decorating. Or we could do ornament decorating, so they
Mhm.
could bring the ornament with them. And then I also thought, we have a lot of seniors, so what about if some of the kids did Christmas cards for seniors?
Mhm.
Cause that would be a nice thing to be able to.
I think we could make it a Christmas party without specifically having to have Santa there. Part of it to support the breakfast with Santa, the other part of it not to like. It's Santa extravaganza
right,
starting December, so,
yeah.
and if we do. the
Maybe we could do
pictures-
like a Christmas movie up on the stage. So they can go and sit and watch while the parents are trying the chilies.
In the past, I think the library did story time too, so lots of good ideas, guys.
Decisions though, or.
Yes, I know.
Need decisions.
Okay,
So
Okay.
I don't like the movie. We have live music.
Yes,
So I don't like the movie. I do like the elves and a letter to Santa.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's timed well, especially with how them having their event a week later or whatever. I like the decorating a cookie. I like the coloring contest we talked about before.
mhm,
And I mean, for an event from 1 till 4, that's lots
yeah,
for another free event, right? Like
okay,
people
so,
come listen to music, they can eat chili, we got desserts there. Kids can decorate a cookie, write a letter to Santa, listen to music, do the coloring contest.
okay, so it's the decision to scrap Santa altogether.
yes.
Well, let's not put it
That's-
that way.
Yeah, I think we've all come to that
Yeah.
conclusion, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm good with whatever.
Steve?
Yeah, I'll message his people and cancel
Well, we're not like Santa.
No.
them. No,
Not
that's what
knocking
we're
off.
saying.
Okay.
But it's just,
But-
if we're not having the parade,
Yeah,
is the community going to be upset with the fact that we're not having the parade? And Santa's just not involved in this anymore?
It's the same answer that I've given before. If people are upset that we're not having a parade, they should have put a float in the parade.
Yeah.
yes. And if I'm being honest, the Halloween parade was just a couple weeks ago and a lot of people are still thinking about that. And with Breakfast with Santa being the prime event for them with Santa, I really don't think you're gonna get that because a lot of people go to North Bay for their Christmas parade anyways.
Okay,
So I truthfully, number of people that attend the Christmas parade in Bonfield is very little. I
Yes.
don't think the impact is there at all.
okay, so we are going to scrap Santa.
Yeah.
We are going to keep we're gonna keep the live music.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so live
Coloring
music,
contest.
yes,
And instead of the
Cookie
picture
dip.
of Santa, we're going to do
Letters
letters
to Santa.
elves with,
to Santa.
Yeah.
The cookie decorating, we have that, the soup and chili, and then the baked goods exchange. When it comes.
Coloring contest.
And the coloring contest, yeah. The coloring contest, we can put that out.
mhm,
They can print it off, come here, pick it up, the library, we can
Yeah,
give them
we do.
some. They can do it in advance, or they can do it that day.
okay,
And when does it get judged?
The judge, that's the thing, so the
Okay.
judging for it,
Photos on Facebook. Lights. Age groups.
judging, okay, age groups, we wanna do the same as the Easter egg contest, Easter. Yeah,
Sure.
I think it was like 1 to 3, 4 to 7,
3.
Well, they just scribbled.
yeah,
They should eat it and they spit it out.
and then up to what, 15, 14?
I would do
Would they
age
even
2,
cover?
I wouldn't even include
Okay.
age 1, to
So
be
we'll go
honest, I would go
2
like
to-
age 2 to like age
I would do to 4. like
Yeah,
school
age 2 to 4
beginning
for
of school.
preschool.
Yeah,
And then you go your
Mm.
school age.
5 to 8.
Yeah, let's say
5
5
to
to 8.
Okay, and then 10 to,
Then 9.
Nine.
Beginning
sorry,
of
9.
9.
We're not even including the 9.
And then honestly, 9, I would just do 9 to 13. And that's
9
it,
to
that's all,
13.
because you're not like
okay.
teens.
Mm.
Do the teens? We've got some really artistic teens and excluding them.
Well,
might
maybe
seem
the
like-
teens should do the Christmas cards to seniors.
I think we need to keep it focused.
I think we need to keep do teens, so we'll
Okay.
So we'll do
Six-
14 plus,
Yeah.
Yeah, just say it like that.
like, okay,
14.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 14, like, if
Or
you're,
do 9 to 12 and then 13 plus.
yeah, okay. 9 to 12 and then 13 plus.
Okay,
Judging,
he said
are
Facebook.
there concerns with putting children's work on
I would not put
Facebook?
names. I would not
put
put
their
names.
names on
On
the
the
back,
back.
Yeah.
so then you can number them,
Mhm.
or the people have to like each
Well, if it's
photo,
only the
right?
first name, they're not gonna know.
I still wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
No
I
way.
would
Cause
not.
there's no picture
Yeah, but I
of the
still wouldn't.
kid.
I still wouldn't because of custody thing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
so you can number them, and then, you know, whoever wins has to sign a disclaimer of what information, that's what we do at the library. Somebody wins, we have to ask the parents, are you comfortable with the picture, or comfortable with names? And how much information, and then sometimes they've said, oh, just a first name and that's it,
I mean,
thing, so.
what if, another suggestion, if we just put them on the wall there and had a set of judges, like Mary,
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
So we've
people
already
here.
had that before, and they, for the parade, right?
so the reason I
thought-
really like the Facebook page is it just pushes people to the page and it shows the community things that we're doing, right?
That's what the
So
picture.
if the kids did their photos
We can scan them.
and we just wrote on the back their name and their age, we can take a picture of it. We can keep notes. And then on Facebook, we just say, here's the 3 to 6 year old photos. And we put the 5 of them in or 10 of them in or whatever it is.
Yeah,
People vote. And then we do another album for the 7 to 9 year old photos or whatever, right? And people just vote on it and then we'll know who won without names. We'll know who won. And then we just contact them.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
people aren't voting on a name. They're just voting on
Okay.
these 6 pictures in this age group.
Mhm.
These 4 pictures in this age group.
Okay.
But it's just trying to build that social media presence, right?
Yeah. Okay, so live music, letters to Santa, the coloring contest, the cookie decorating. So we don't need a chair,
Nope.
Okay.
We can get a mail.
and the judging will,
Oh, yeah.
You
Right.
do need elves, and I got a Santa. I'm not getting elves.
okay, we will,
But we're not needing the Santa.
I'll work on elves.
What I'm saying is I already previously got one based on our previous meetings. I don't have time to track down elves.
that's,
No, I'll take that on,
Holly, we're going to assign Holly to finding
Yeah.
else.
might wrap a banana into an elf costume.
I don't have the legs for owls.
Yeah,
Okay, so if we're not doing the pictures anymore, we don't need the backdrop situation set up. So yes, when it comes to promoting the soup and chili contest and stuff, because we are getting a later start on this.
Yeah.
I am really going to need you guys to like,
Keep sharing.
to keep sharing.
Yep.
Yeah,
To hound your friends and family. It's a good time and there are prizes.
Yeah.
And you get to try really interesting chili.
So,
I
and
think
also, we will be
Chili.
serving the chili this year, it's not going to be a free-for-all.
Oh.
There are going to be a number of changes to how we are doing this.
Okay.
Just to be more in line with the health and
yes.
safety aspect of it.
Yes.
So we are going to be testing for temperature, things must be transported in,
Crock pot?
yes, and it's something that maintains the temperature. We will be serving these things, just there's a couple little changes like that. Because we need to be more in line with that.
No, was there did we talk about the bean contest, the big bean contest?
I heard a rumor that it is happening.
Is the big bean contest happening?
I think they are.
They are?
I
Are
didn't
you-
do it last year.
It's supposed
Okay.
to be all counselors. Okay.
Yeah, not me.
So
No.
then we
Yeah.
need to, everyone to commit to being,
November
I'm
30th.
available.
Yeah,
November 30th. Hold on, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I'm good.
okay, so we're all going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, like I said, there's gonna be a lot more work on us this year too, with the serving, with the making sure things are.
Can we
more
still,
included.
can we still join?
I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like, can we still enter a chili?
Anonymous, in the past, I haven't, but
Put your hubby's name.
Break
No,
that,
anybody can enter for sure.
yeah,
I mean, if councils are doing it, why can't we do it?
Yeah.
right,
yeah, okay, so.
I just
sure.
find it's fun.
It is,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah.
Alright.
Second place winner over here.
Which one was it the one? I don't think I stayed for
Yours was a chili or a soup?
A soup, I
Are
probably
we
just
just doing
did
a chili or is there
No,
a
soup
different?
and chili.
Yeah,
Okay.
chili.
I have it here.
Oh. And then the baked good exchange.
This is
Oh.
not very clear at all.
Okay,
Like,
what needs to be more,
I didn't think it needed to be that clear, but it's kind of scary how people didn't know how it worked.
so what we,
I would take out the whip up. I would just, baked goods exchanged, how many people like don't you just need to bring in 1 dozen?
No, the idea is you should bring in a couple of dozen and then you can trade for, like, ideally,
Okay.
like, I bring in 6 dozen, she brings in 6 dozen. I should be able to take one of hers and she takes one of mine
Okay,
and the next
so
person.
instead of a couple, I would make it clear and say 2 dozen.
And we did talk about actually putting it down to half dozen.
yeah.
Yeah, cause then it's 6 and 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have it for a half dozen.
then put in
And then
brackets
do we wanna
6.
set it,
Mhm.
and then do we wanna set it so that this all happens at a specific time? Because if someone shows up at 12
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then someone shows up at 2.
yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
So what time do we want the
So from
exchange to
1
happen?
to 4, 1 to 4,
At
soup
2.
and chili,
So I think 2 to 3,
yeah, 2 to 3.
Okay,
right in
so
the
the
middle.
exchange starts happening at
2
2.
and goes to, or have your baked goods there by
For
2.
2.
Okay,
Or 2.
and then day of, one of
Mhm.
us is going to need to be
At the table.
maintaining this, directing people when they come in, have a set table.
Yeah,
I will only do it if I get guaranteed a dozen of them. I mean, whatever they were.
I will guarantee you a dozen of those fine
Incredible.
cheesecake cookies.
Yes.
Okay, no,
Oh,
so I'll definitely guarantee you that.
So the thing that was to me unclear, when I look at this, there was a lot of confusion by the people who came about they saw a table of baked goods and they didn't participate,
right.
but they were like, oh, I'll take some because.
We want some signage.
yeah,
So
so I would
make it
put
clear,
baked
you-
goods
You
exchange.
bring an item, you take an item, like
Yeah.
that's, bring it, you take.
So,
Okay, so, and
clear.
we'll, then we'll make up a sign.
Yeah,
so is it going to be, you make 2 dozen, separate them in
Into
6?
Yeah.
So that there's an exchange of 3,
And the
right?
idea is that you should only be going home with 2 dozen of
Yeah.
something. Right?
Right,
So,
total.
yeah,
and I mean, we can explain that when we're there.
Yeah,
'Cause what
so
ends up
like
happening-
take home an assortment of other baked treats equal to what you brought.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, and we'll set that for 2 p.m. is the exchange start time.
They have to have their baked goods on the table by 2 p.m.
Well, that's when it's kind of like it happens pretty fast, kind of.
Yes. we've got-
I've never been to this, so.
We only did it the once time.
It's fun.
Okay.
Who do you have for music?
JR.
What shirt is he wearing?
Okay, is there anything else that we want to discuss with Christmas in Bondfield?
So it starts at 1, so what time should we all be there to get
Yes.
it organized? 11?
Usually we have to get it all decorated.
Yeah.
Maybe the day
Um,
before.
Yeah, but
Do they
we
let
might
us
as- we might as just, I don't,
They
it's
should
not
let
that,
us in. They should.
So when do you?
The morning.
Up to you guys, if you guys wanna go Friday and do it, I just can't.
Saturday morning's fine too.
I,
It doesn't
yeah, I'm
matter.
fine, as long as we give ourselves enough time to get it decorated.
And then I
There's
need
not
to
that
make the
much, right? It's
chili
just the
as well.
tables and then a bit of
So
stuff.
tablecloths and then, we have like decorations to put up kind of thing, nothing too crazy,
It won't
but
take too long.
So 11?
Yeah.
Gives us
Okay.
2 hours, does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah, we'll bring a speaker and we'll listen to music while we get ready.
The biggest thing is that we have enough power bars and extension cords because there's only power on the one wall. And nobody registers in advance like they're supposed to. So we think that we have the space all set for the amount of crock pots and stuff that we need, and then 10 show up that day that didn't get registered. So we're scrambling, like trying to unplug stuff and move stuff. So
Yeah,
we just gotta make sure
so-
that we have like an obscene amount of extra extension
Extension
cords and
cord.
power bars.
So when you were talking about serving it too, are you talking about having somebody behind each of the pots and?
we're gonna have to
There
have,
should be.
yeah, not
Okay.
every single pot, like you can serve
Double up kind of
multiple
thing?
pots
Yeah.
of soup.
A table have 2 or 3 and then
Yeah,
have somebody. at
But
the
like,
table.
we will be serving. and
So we'll
maintaining.
need volunteers.
We will need more volunteers. On that note. Who else do we have volunteer?
Would Kelly come out and do this?
I think she would.
I think so too, because she keeps offering to come
Yeah.
out and help.
We can bring
Judy?
it, we can bring it up to our.
Judy might
ladies.
too.
Judy
We can
and
bring it up
Alan.
to the
Do we wanna
ladies.
bring it up to the fitness
I
group?
think we can, cause there's lots of people there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have, some of them have kids and they might be there anyways,
Mhm.
the husbands, and you come.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah,
So,
we can ask the ladies.
can you
lots of
reach out to the
I will
fitness people?
talk to some fitness friends.
Thank you.
Not tonight, there won't be anybody there.
Yeah, everybody's gonna drop, I'm sorry.
Everybody's feeling the weather.
Okay, so that the power bars, they
Extension
need to be
cords.
like, not like the. Like they need to be like a good quality one,
Because the crock pots
Yes.
take up a lot of electricity.
yes,
Well, and the
Right.
thing is, if they bring it hot. Like if you have the lid on it until it's time to serve, it'll still stay hot, like it
Yeah.
stays really hot, mine stays really hot.
Yeah, mine too.
It
for
doesn't
a few
even really
hours.
need to be on.
Yeah.
yeah, but we just have to make sure it's maintaining the temperature it needs to be at. But yes, if you guys can, if you could get like a survey of how many extension cords and bars and stuff that you have, so that I can know what we need to.
I live on solar, I
boy.
haven't. don't have
Right,
much.
okay.
I will talk
I'm
to
a
Gary,
no
he's an
help.
electrician, we probably has.
Okay, if you can let me know though, like as soon as possible, how many you have, so then I can know
Okay.
how many we.
I
need
might have
to-
like one and it's probably the cheap
That's,
power bar, so. I've got
it's okay,
extension cords though.
you're taking on some other
Okay,
things.
Yeah.
I've got extension cords, but not power bars.
I definitely, extension cord, I have outdoor ones.
That's good though.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll hold power.
Yeah, but I'm putting my Christmas stuff up next weekend, so I need.
I'll go for one day.
Anything else for Christmas in Bonfield there, Steve?
I don't think so.
Okay,
So who's gonna man like the coffee and that at the back? Like, will Lee's still back, like come and volunteer?
you know what, I'm gonna reach out to Lise about if
She
she wants
likes
to do
doing
the
that.
coffee. I bugged her on the weekend about that I saw some other woman in the kitchen doing coffee and I said, whoa, you're not Lise.
She's
Um,
busy enough doing other things.
Mhm.
If we don't have Lise to do that, we will need other people, students, volunteer students. Can you reach out to?
Wonder, I can ask the ones that came out to the Halloween parade.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll
Who's
ask
Izzy?
them, I'll
Yeah,
ask,
Izzy and her
Oh.
friends there.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But if you can confirm with them, it's like soon as possible, so that I know, so I know what I need to pivot on.
Okay, let me ask the ones that came to help us, cause they need volunteer hours.
And the Roslyn that came to help with the Halloween
Yes.
parade, I think we can reach out to her to get
Okay.
her involved as well.
We didn't scare her away.
No, she's so sweet, she had a
Incredible.
great time.
Yes.
Okay, but yeah, if everyone can get these things wrapped up and brought back to me, then I can move forward with them. Okay,
So for the cookie decorating that, like, are you just getting that out of a fund or something?
yeah, so we
Okay.
have some
So we don't have to
funding
worry.
for that. I did reach out to the Dinner Bell to see if she just wants to make a bunch of cookies for us because, free is for me. But if it's not, then we have some money to go buy them, like the cookie decorating kits.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and then some
I
extra.
could easily make that stuff at home.
it needs to,
You have to
Be
be
from a
in an
commercial
inspection, yeah, inspected kitchen. So unless you wanna go make it at the hall, is that an inspect? Or the
Yes.
Lions Hall?
or the Lions.
On a Friday night.
There's probably gonna be a jam
I
session.
will have a tummy for the next day, but I am all.
Okay, well,
for it.
worst case scenario,
No, that's, yeah.
me and Holly and
Heather?
Sylvie, Heather, Sylvie, we will bake on Friday night in the kitchen. Volunteering, you guys.
Okay, as long as,
I like cooking.
or if we're, like, we just need to nail it down.
If we can get them
You can make
purchased,
cookies
that
too.
would be the best, I think. It's,
Okay.
it's gonna be a,
I think it's easiest to either have the
Yeah.
dinner bell do it or to purchase it.
well, even if we find, can we not find out
Kits.
if she
Cookie
can't,
kits.
if she can't provide.
Or buy cookies.
Well,
Like,
that's- if
buy
she
the sugar
can't
cookies and then buy
provide
the,
them, then why not ask her if she would,
We pay her. and-
yeah, like a small.
okay, yep.
We don't have to individually wrap them or anything, cause the kids just shred that stuff anyways.
And the kits are
So,
expensive, but that's
yeah.
what they've
That's
done,
what I-
that's
that's what
been
I'm
done in the
saying.
past.
Really?
But bins and bins, like they have all the colored, what's it called, the
Icing.
icing stuff, but it's shelf stable stuff. It's not
Okay.
nothing to worry about.
Bins
So,
and bins, okay.
Bins and bins,
So
yeah.
bulk buying was,
Yeah.
and it needs to
They
be
have
in like
lots.
small, like little
Yeah.
containers, so,
I'm sure they'd give a.
We got,
better
we can
price
figure
if we
something
bought a
out,
whole bunch.
yeah,
okay,
we figure it.
Okay,
cool,
okay.
Dollar Tree
checklist.
has all
Checklist, got it.
okay.
so.
Steve, moving on.
Perfect. So OAC grant is next,
Yes.
7B.
So the background on this for you guys that weren't here. Was that Natalie had done a ton of work to get this going, and that it was a planned event including an evening of traditional music, Métis dance, storytelling, featuring musical groups Beyond Ireland, and Rendezvous, along with Métis storytellers and dancers and others. And then also an outdoor art installation that we were going to reach out through Creative Industries to have them set up, to have artists.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing with the grant is that money has to go to professional artists.
Yeah.
It can't be your cousin
Yeah.
that's good at art.
Yeah.
So then we were gonna have that event at the community center and then a series of art installations out here that would kind of last a little bit longer, similar to Ice Follies
Oh,
or
okay.
Lights on Stratford or,
Okay.
something like that. So originally, we were quoted a much lower amount
Yeah.
to get the event to happen at the community center. And it has now come back that it is going to eat our whole budget
The quote from the community center?
from the artists that want from Rendezvous and from Beyond Ireland. And it would be a cool event. Like there's gonna be dancers, interactive components, music.
Yeah,
It would be cool,
Mhm.
but it would eat up
everything,
everything.
right.
So our options are outlined at the bottom of the report.
Okay.
So we can proceed with the performances, only hosting it at the community center. It meets the goals of the grant, which are, we really focused on the history of Bondfield, of like the francophone, of the Métis, of the indigenous populations, stuff like that.
Okay,
So that those performances
Mhm.
really stick true to what the grant was, how we got the grant.
Yeah,
So we can choose to do that, or we can try and find alternative artists that follow that. Like the promoting multiculturalism, the history and all of that.
there's Big Medicine Stadium.
What's that?
So they're on the reserve, I'm guessing they're an like an art collective-ish
Okay,
kind of thing, but they have a lot of ties to local artists, like the indigenous artists. They do performances, they do a lot.
so
Like if
this needs to happen, so we
Yeah.
can start, we can just stick with the ones that we've already got a commitment, kind of like
Okay,
a quote from, or we can try and find ASAP new artists that stick to the idea of the grant
Mhm.
and then try and find artists to do the installations.
So would we have to do both, like Beyond Ireland and? Like, why wouldn't we just do Rendezvous?
It's to make it a whole night kind
Okay,
of thing.
Okay.
because like with Rendezvous and then like the Métis storytelling. You would still have Melanie Smith's and.
This is what they
Okay.
came back with. So,
With suggestions.
Okay,
what are the thoughts on that? And we're on a timeline with this too, that it
I
has
would
to happen
say.
in February.
Yeah.
So
so is this a free event for people to come into?
we were going to charge some admission, like
Okay,
nothing dramatic, but enough to make some money that we then, actually, I had a really great suggestion today, is that we could take anything we make from that and get the mural done between the library, there's a hallway back there, to have a mural done in here, so it promotes art, it promotes Bonfield, it promotes history, it promotes all of that sort of stuff as well. That we could take any money we make from that and put it back into the arts in Bonfield.
was there anybody from Maryland that does, like, she has
Yeah,
somebody
like
from
the
Nipissing and then
And Métis,
Massillon?
I'm just thinking like the Métis Nation, somebody's gotta, they have to have artists and stuff.
But
The only thing is like musical groups, if you're looking for musical groups versus. So that they were the ones that came back and said like the price got higher.
yes,
And they're not willing to go down a little bit?
no,
If we went with, like she said, one of them,
I can
slightly shorter of,
see if they're,
you know. It doesn't have to be such a long event, like if we do one of these two, along with the Métis storytellers and dancers and. What's the lights on Stratford?
it's just like an outdoor light festival.
Cause the Métis from Massillon, I'm pretty
It's-
sure they have a couple of singers too,
Yeah.
like I think there's Sandra Glad.
Okay. So options 1 or 2.
I feel like we have a lot of Métis, yeah, people around here that would really be supportive of this.
I think so too.
Steve?
Has anybody talked to Natalie about this?
Yeah, she's the one.
What's her preference?
She, I think, prefers to do the night of, like, the one night thing,
Like music. and that.
with the artists that she's already brought, sort of had conversations with.
Yeah, so for the amount of work that was involved on her behalf or in what she put into this, I'm all for whatever she thinks will work,
That's
as
okay.
long as the budget works for it.
Mhm. So then that would say no to the outdoor installations.
Right.
Okay,
Was there a quote of how much the outdoor installations were gonna cost?
we had, I think, about 1,500 left originally,
Okay,
or somewhere 1,500 or 2,000 left to do the installations, and then the prices changed.
okay.
So depending on
Or
like
how much?
what
these-
entertainment she gets,
No, because we hadn't sent out to the
Mhm.
call for the artists yet.
Okay. Do you know how much the ice follies?
No,
Cause it's,
They're awesome.
but
I
that
do-
is also, that's another thing, is that's happening at a very similar time.
Right,
yeah.
I think option 1, it's indoors, we don't have to worry
Mm.
about weather. I think we'll get a good crowd for it too.
Mhm.
And like you say, if we do a small fee for entry, I think a mural on the outside wall would be like an awesome idea for the community,
Were you talking about?
but the proceeds.
those
No,
wall-
inside.
Yeah,
Oh, I was
see,
thinking,
I wouldn't.
I would do the outside so
yeah.
people can see it.
I was even thinking the gazebo. The walls
Yeah,
need to be
and
redone.
that's a discussion
Later
For
on.
another
for later
time,
on, and I was introduced to someone today, actually, that would be a fantastic fit for that, so
Yeah.
that, where we spend that money, that's good, we're good there.
Yeah.
But we just need to decide if we want to stick with just the one night thing, or if, because the outdoor, like, the light festivals are so cool.
They are so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be something that we could maybe try and raise money for and plan for next year.
Could we not, okay, I'm sorry, our community rocks with artistic stuff. Like I can't get over the Halloween parades and stuff.
Mhm.
Put it out to the community. That in February, end February, we're thinking of doing an art installation. The issue is with its lights, do we have a way to light these things up?
There is some lighting, or there's some electrical out there, but it's
Mhm.
something that we're looking at more
And-
of.
Yeah.
And the artists have to be professional artists, right?
Yes.
And they
No,
have,
but I mean, if we did,
No, if we
not
didn't-
through this, if we did
Yeah.
option one,
if we
but then
kept
we
the.
put it out to the community. To like join in and do this, our own little,
Like
Like
snow
we could
sculpt-
tie that into
snow
the family day
sculptures
event.
and- Yeah,
yeah,
like do snow sculptures.
Winter carnival
or-
day.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like that's all stuff we could tie into the family day event.
yeah. So not saying it has to be gotten rid, just as part of this, maybe it's not part of this particular grant. It could be something that's still an option.
And
for
getting the
something
community more
else.
involved.
Yeah, and see how maybe the night goes, and if it goes really well, and explain, like, this is what we would want to.
If we run that event and you get some money for tickets for people coming in, and if we promote it well, we might be able to do some sort of sales there too, like candy and whatever, and do a bit of a tuck shop and make some money that way as well, and whatever
Do
money we
we
make in.
want to find someone to do the kitchen, or do we want to try and do that ourselves?
I think for that
Yeah.
one, maybe we do ourselves if we're looking at it being revenue generating. Like I like sharing the wealth and getting food bank involved, and we've done like the fire department and stuff like that before. But if our whole goal for this is, okay, we got this grant, we're gonna run this one night, but we also want to make money on that night so that we can also do more with the art program because of that grant, then I think we try and keep the money in-house if we can.
Okay. So. What are you two? What are your,
I have no idea.
I
where to
say,
go with
I
this.
say the night,
I think go with the night,
Yeah.
do the dancing, the dance, the music, the storytelling.
I think
there's
it'll
a
be
lot
really
in there.
interesting, yeah.
What were you thinking about time wise? Like, is this a family focus? Because I know definitely a lot of homeschool people would be really interested in this for their children.
yes, they would, you're
And
right.
stuff. If
What
it was-
times would work, because you guys have kids, what time is best? Originally, it was sort of planned around 7 p.m.
Okay,
to start.
And how long did they say, 2 hours?
I think 7, 8, 9.
That's not bad for a Saturday night.
yeah, like if I mean, Elsie,
This
9
would-
o'clock's
Would
pushing
be,
it.
it's not, I don't think a weekend, I think it was. I can. Don't think it was a weekend, but we can.
If
look at
it
that.
wasn't a weekend, the 7 works better because by the time everybody gets home, you get dinner, you get all that stuff.
But a
But-
lot of people have have their sports, have
Yes,
all their other stuff that's already booked. And February is tight on hockey, like
Yes.
tight.
Okay, so what date and time do you guys think works best?
I think it has to be a Saturday or a Friday night.
Yeah.
a Friday night would be good in terms of like my kid can sleep in or we can zone out. And I'm not too worried about keeping them up late. And this is something I would definitely take her to
Yeah, it's
and not
education.
worry about. Yeah. Saturday nights, you end up getting into like in February, it's like just weekends.
There's a lot of tournaments
Yeah,
and
they
everything
get booked
happening.
up pretty good, but
So Friday night,
I think a Friday night works.
I think originally it was Thursday or something, but I'll speak with them and then hopefully they can still do it.
Worst case, I wonder if, check to see if there's a PD day.
Yeah, that would
in
be good.
February.
Well, there's the family day, and it's it,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
right.
so there won't be
So
another
there won't
PD day.
be, there won't
Okay.
be. Right.
So Steve, option 1, you're pro sticking with the groups that Natalie had sourced?
Yeah, I like that.
I like it.
Out of respect for an athlete, right?
Okay,
Yeah, you gotta go work it.
oh,
Yeah, boot camp.
okay. And then the Recreation and Fitness Committee organization, that came up because we wanted to start really nailing down
Oh, boy.
who's responsible for what
Oh, God.
and how things are organized. We are working again on our terms of reference
Okay.
to
yes,
just really
right.
outline that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a super
Yeah.
clear answer
Uh-huh.
today. But that is in the works and we will get clear terms of reference done. Ultimately, this is my, like, it falls to me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can get you guys to do what you can. Ultimately, it does come back to me.
so why is that though?
Yeah,
It's my job.
So it's part of your
It's
job for the
part,
township?
yes.
Okay,
But yes, it is, makes everything flow nicely when I can say, Holly, I need volunteers for this.
No.
Sheena, I
Right.
need you to do this,
Right.
and then it gets
No.
done.
okay, got it.
But that was just,
You're
My-
the PM.
yes. Unless, does anyone have any thoughts on that?
No, I'm game. I'm
just as
totally
long as
game.
we, yeah, clear of what gets done and how it gets done, like how things are communicated. I mean, we were on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Steve mentioned you were missing for
Yeah.
conversations. I assume that that's because in your role at the
Yes.
township, you can't,
There are
those
certain
communications.
rules about how I communicate with everyone.
yeah.
Oh,
And so,
So we need to figure out a way though that we
Well, it
can
would
have
be the email.
everybody.
It would
yeah,
be
so
the
I
email.
would need to email kind of individually and then go back to Steve and Dan. But yeah, so it's just about learning how to manage that.
Well, I mean, group emails, because it's a good idea too, because some of the communications I would have with you, but that you've already had with her, and then she would tell me, and it was like telephone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
where you
That's
start
why I
at
did the
beginning.
Facebook group where I was like, hey, let's just all
Yeah.
get on the same page, so we're not
So if
double
it's like,
shipping.
if it's group emails where you reply all.
Like the email, like where you send our stuff, wouldn't that
Yeah.
work?
We can't make decisions and stuff outside of committee meeting.
No, but I mean,
But were we
just
not?
like. If you're just kind of relaying
Like-
information, like,
Once you start having more than a certain number of people, it starts getting complicated, then yeah,
Okay,
but that is on me to communicate better.
alright.
Like if you're limited by how you can communicate.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
just
then
trying to
also
figure
when.
out.
and like everybody's working.
Cause if
and-
you're a 9 to 5 girl
Yeah.
and we're you know, I do a lot of my stuff in the evenings. And, you know, Steve's all over the place.
Steve works like 5 different jobs.
Yeah.
So,
It's like- Come on, 5, it's 8.
So, yeah, so how do we make sure everybody's communicating
And Dan's not even
Effectively.
on
and quickly?
Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
any suggestions, Steve, on how to improve the?
Yeah, like I'm good with anything as long as everybody's involved, right? And I think Cass was missing some messages there because she was sick too, right? You were off for a
Yeah,
couple of days,
yeah,
and I think that was just kind of like the prime time when a lot of messages were going back and forth, and we weren't getting responses or much input from you. But I think you were off, and
I was.
Yeah, you were
You were
out. You were out, yeah.
So what if we set it up so that it was like a little group chat, but through text? And then if any decision has to be made or whatever?
it'd be the same thing as Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
gotta be email, it's the
She
messaging
needs
I'm
like
getting.
probably the more the paper trail.
Yeah,
like,
it's
an
gotta be-
accountability for it. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yes, because this is all public, right?
Yes.
Right.
So,
So can we not have like an email that's specific to our committee directly? So that way, if there's anything, there's a paper trail through those emails. Instead of having it through the township of office clerk, having it specifically of like
rec.
committee
Yeah,
rec,
rec committee.
right? So,
but how's that different from my other email?
well, then it's specific to us, our group only,
Yeah,
having
so
those
it's not-
conversations versus like township of Bonnfield, where we're kind of like subspecialty of township of Bonnfield. So you're separating it to have where you're focused, like any communications happening throughout that area.
It's gotta go through the one email.
It's all about.
It's all
it sounds like that's
public and transparent.
yeah, it sounds like that's been decided, right? So you emailed everybody today, so we just keep responding to everybody, right? Respond all.
Just do group email and reply all and. At least then we're not
Yeah,
like doubling
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not asking Sheena,
Yeah.
and meanwhile,
Yeah.
she's already had this.
I mean, Halloween
conversation.
parade was a different ballgame.
Yes.
Let's be honest. We
Yeah.
can't use that as an example.
Well, there was a lot and it was on a
There was a
short
lot.
time
It was
frame.
short
yeah.
time and it was about what can you do? Just do it. Like there was no, you know, like, okay, let's wait on this. There was no waiting. Like it was just do it.
But I mean,
So-
you know, like the Christmas thing and the arts thing,
Yeah.
if we're, like, if I'm going to look for volunteers, then I should be able to email everybody and say, okay, I got 5 kids they're gonna be there, these sort of times, you
Yeah,
know, and she says, you know.
And I
said,
mean, worst case
elves.
scenario, like with that Facebook page, if anybody wanted to, it's a screen print, it's a screenshot and it's,
Yeah,
you could always,
but it's what she's
Yeah,
allowed.
I know,
can't,
but I mean, like
because-
if it
yeah.
came back.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, it's just gotta go through my email.
official channels,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
okay,
That'll be fun.
it's just nice to know.
So we'll text you and say, check your email.
yeah.
On the weekend, Sunday
Steve,
night.
any thoughts or anything you need to,
Yeah, that works.
moving on.
No motions, 8A, no motions,
No,
No,
9A, no correspondence.
Nope.
Which brings us to adjournment. Moved by
Holly,
and seconded by,
Sheena.
that the meeting be adjourned at 6:18 PM. All in favor?
6:19.
6:19, Steve, 6:19.
Wow.
our computer
Guess I'm
said,
in a different time zone than you.
it's 7:19.
okay,
All in favor?
All in favor.
Carried.
Then you guys gotta rush off.
I gotta go open the door.
okay,
I got a meeting.
I gotta put a sport.
have a great evening.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.